What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and I'm here to bring you one of my most anticipated biopic movies of all time, Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, just to let you know, I'm a huge fan of Queen. I think they have some of the greatest music of all time. Their music is timeless, and Freddie Mercury is one of my favorite vocalists. He sings beautifully. I love all of his music, and it just sucks that he's not with us today. So, as big of a fan as I am, and everything that I love about that band, when I went into this movie, I was very excited. I was hoping it would do a good job. I was hoping it would really make me feel things and really make me just get engrossed in this story about how the band Queen came to be and Freddie's story throughout his life and how it tragically ended, as we all know, in the I don't remember exactly what year he died, but when it got to that point, I wanted to know the whole story. I don't know how much Hollywood exaggerated this, so I don't know if it's 100% true, but I like to believe that for a biopic, I think they did pretty. I would hope that they did it pretty accurately, but the story that they did show was absolutely fantastic. This movie was an example of how to do a biopic literally perfectly. The way they chose the cast was great. I really have to commend just to pronounce his name. I don't want to mispronounce it and want to make sure I say it right. The man who played Freddie Mercury, his name is Rami Malek. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I believe that's the correct way to do it. But the way he portrayed Freddie in such a beautiful way, you can tell that he is either a huge fan of the band and Freddie himself, or he truly did a lot of research and studied the way his mannerisms were, his voice, how his personality, the type of energy he gives off. Because in his performance, you felt it. You believed you believed that he was this man. And it was phenomenal to see that. But as for the story, let's just get to it. What this movie is about the up-and-coming story of Queen. How they became who they were to end up to be. And it shows you where Freddie started, where he was trying to get to, how he ended up meeting the band members, how he ended up making the music that he did. And as the story unfolds, you see the highs, the lows, the extremely highs to the extremely lows of how difficult but amazing his story was. The way this movie portrayed his struggle, yes, some critics would say that, yes, we've seen this before, drugs and sex and all this corruption, getting too full of yourself. I know people will say that they've seen this a million times before, but that's because this happens a lot. This has happened to so many bands, and it's just a tragic story. It's just, for some reason, this just seems to happen to a lot of bands. But the way this movie showed that was excellent. I loved it. The way it showed how they started to where they got in between their career, where they were starting to get popular, and the way they were feeling, the familyness that they felt with each other, the love that they had for one another was fantastic. And then when they showed you the struggles that Freddie was going through when he was dealing with drugs, and unfortunately, as you all know, when he was struggling with AIDS, the way this movie portrayed all of that was excellent. But I really have to say, when it got down to the part where they really had to talk about when he finally had to realize he was diagnosed with AIDS, the way the movie handled such an emotional and just horrible moment in his life was excellent. Thanks to everyone in this movie. The way they performed and the way they handled it was excellent. I loved it. It was so much emotion. I cried during that scene. It was such a great scene. Just throughout the whole film, the way that you felt connected to each and every single band member, and especially obviously Freddie Mercury himself. This film drew you in right from the get-go because you wanted to know more about him. How did he become like this? What were his struggles? And when you get down to the really low points in his career, and just when he was feeling and going through the worst pain, you really felt it. And this movie really just hit you right in the feels when you got to that, because you know what's gonna inevitably happen to him but you're pushing for him. You want him to do better. You want him to get up there. That was a phenomenal experience. The next thing I gotta say is when it comes to the way they portrayed the way Freddie Mercury performed on stage, they did a fantastic job. Perfect job. He did all the mannerisms, he did all the movements, he did the way he dressed, he pulled it off. I love that. The way these shot, the way the performances were shot when he was singing, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is literally like looking at a concert as if it's being filmed professionally and you're there, and you felt so into it. And then thanks to the brilliant, like, I saw this in IMAX, so really the movie made you feel like you were in the audience seeing this for yourself. And as a person who wasn't born during that time, I really appreciated being so engulfed during every single musical performance in the film. Nevertheless, when you get to the ending of the film, as you all know, his final performance was in Live Aid. And I was like, how are they going to be able to pull this off? Are they going to be able to really bring his final performance in a perfect way? Are they going to be able to top, when you could just go on the internet and just watch the thing? But they did a great job. The enthusiasm with the entire cast, the way Rami Malek performed as was trying to become Freddie Mercury was just breathtaking. They did such a fantastic job to bring to life, to reignite that final performance that he did at Live Aid so well. There were no words. I was so happy. When the crowd was clapping, I felt like getting up and just clapping as well. Getting just invested into this beautiful performance. This great biopic tribute to one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time and one of the greatest singers of all time. This movie, if you are a fan of Queen like I am, if you are a fan of rock and roll, if you like biopics, if you like good films, definitely go out and see Bohemian Rhapsody, because Bohemian Rhapsody gets an extremely solid A+ from me, guys. Guys, I loved this movie. This was an excellent film. Great directing, great acting from everybody. The music was on point, obviously. Everything about this film was great. You owe it to yourself, if you are a fan, like I said, of Queen, to go see this film. You will feel so happy and then feel so sad at times, but you'll be smiling, you'll be crying during some scenes, but no matter what, you are gonna walk out of this movie just so happy and so honored to call yourself a fan of Queen, and just you will appreciate the fact that this movie exists. It is great. I absolutely adored it, guys. Those are my thoughts on it. I'm sorry if I was a little all over the place. I was just so touched by this film. I was so happy walking out of this movie. It was an emotional experience for me, and it was great. It was something that I cannot wait for that movie to come out on Blu-ray. I might even go see it again. I don't know. Just got to see if I can fit it into my schedule right now. But guys, what did you guys think of Bohemian Rhapsody? Did you like it? Did you think it paid a great tribute to such an awesome man? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But as for my next movie review, I'm going to be reviewing Overlord. I'm excited to see that. It looks like a, fun action movie, killing Nazi zombies from the looks of it. And as for my next game review, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Soul Calibur 6 because with school and work and everything, I just wasn't able to put enough time into Soul Calibur. Once the semester's over, I will be posting maybe some gameplay of me playing the game and stuff like that, some impressions, but I just couldn't fit it in. There's a lot going on with school. I really want to make sure I do good with that, but I also want to give you guys content, so I'm trying my best to just kind of like balance all this out. But my next game review for sure, because I'm currently working on that, is my Red Dead Redemption 2 review. That's going to be a definite. It's just going to take a little bit because it's a very, very long game. I'm taking my time with it. I don't want to rush, so I apologize. That one takes a while. But as for movie reviews, Overlord is next, and then after that, Fantastic Beast, the sequel to Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, those are my plans for the future for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate every single one of you who watch my videos, because I love doing this. I love talking movies. I love talking games. And just, yeah, but as always, guys, have a great day.